Testing, 1, 2, 3. If you can hear my voice, get your ass in here. We need an audience. My name's Paco Loco, and I am, let me get this camera straight. We going through some changes, y'all. I don't know if y'all been noticing. We going through some changes. And that's what it's all about. You know what I blame for the changes? The fucking Mercury retrograde. The Mercury retrograde, like, yo, should be changing, like, all of a sudden, should be the same way. You know what I like most about Mercury retrograde? Like, old chicks that you used to bang call back. You know what I mean? There's something about it, like, yo, if an ex call back, that's a Mercury retrograde. Like, yo, for some reason, they be like, yo, he didn't. He was kind of crazy, but he had good dick, though. So they'll call you right back, like, yo, I can't offer emotional shit. I give you some dick, though. That's for real. Like, so bad, yo, so bad. You know what I wish for a guy? You know what I wish we could do? Like, girls are so sexy. We love y'all. Like, y'all, but I be laughing a little bit because y'all be doing a lot of stuff that y'all shouldn't be doing. Like, you know what I mean? Putting makeup on. Y'all need to do that. We gonna love you. We love women. Fellas, give it up for the ladies. We love the ladies, like, all of y'all, like, for real. Y'all so beautiful. It don't matter what you do, we gonna love you. Like, you gotta have a hunchback. You know what I mean? It should be like this and shit. And we gonna be like, yo! You see her hunchback, son? Yeah, yo! Oh, I'm gonna touch that hunchback, yo. I'll smash that hunchback. Like, I wanna lick her hunchback. You know what I mean? You got a mustache, we don't give a fuck. Like, we don't care. Y'all be thinking we care. Like, whatever y'all do, as long as you happy, we good with it. Like, right? You know what I mean? As long as you like it, all right. Like, that's the whole marketing scheme behind all the marketing that's going on is like, cater to the women, because the guys, we just gonna go along. Like, we just gonna, whatever y'all want, we gonna do. Like, y'all be doing a lot of stuff. Y'all making a lot of moves, ladies. Y'all making a lot of moves. Y'all could get drafted in the military now. Like, that's equal. If we get drafted, you get drafted. Like, we all go fight. You can shoot a gun too. We know. Like, yeah, like, y'all ask for this. Like, next time there's a war, y'all coming with us. Like, fuck that. You can't leave them at home and shit, though. Because they'll fuck your neighbors and shit. Like, damn. We're making lots of moves and shit, but you gotta watch it now. Because it goes too far. Because all the Me Too stuff, like, now women, y'all gotta create your own jobs now. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Because guys ain't hiring no more. Like, I can't work. He had these two beauties working with me. Like, I'm not paying attention to none of them I'm doing. Like, I'm just going to be, you want something to eat? Like, you want something? Like, I'll get you a snack. Like, you want some coffee? Like, I'll be right there. Like, I know I work with beautiful women. My entire life, for some reason, I've always worked and always, because I'm in a Hispanic community. So women being in charge, that's old school for us. Like, you know, like, women aren't in charge. Like, and I just grew up, like, I don't mind a strong woman in my life. Like, I'll listen, like, you don't gotta tell me twice. No, you do not gotta tell me twice. So I got these two beautiful women that I work with. They were in the radio show, like, they just awesome. They be on the radio, they rich, famous, and they just be, oh, I'm so single, I can't find it. But meanwhile, they like banging stars and shit, but nobody, I don't tell it. I gotta erase this. But they ain't like, oh shit, they gonna see this. But like, I'm sitting there, and I know if I shut the fuck up, there's a possibility of a threesome. You know what I mean? Like, because girls know if they want to bang you, they know instantly. As soon as they see you, like, oh, he can get it. Yeah, he can get it. And from there, fellas, we can only fuck it up. Because if we start saying some dumb ass shit like, oh, like, yo, he fine as hell, but he is a Trump supporter? Like, y'all know I lost some people plenty of time for political beliefs and shit. Like, for me, it's like, this whole thing, like, for me, it's like I always get stuck on these things. Like, everything that we told and when we was a child, all that shit is just lies. Like, so I'm just like real skeptical about everything. Like, you know why? Because I smoke that good shit. You know what I mean? I smoke that good weed. I'm sitting there and I'm smoking that good weed and like, damn, like, everything was different. Like, I used to believe that we used to have this thing and it was supposed to be there for us all the time, no matter what. It's called civil rights. You know, civil rights is, I thought it was unalienable. Like, you know what I mean? You know who came fucked it up? The aliens. Yeah, I think the corona might be Earth's way of like protecting us against the aliens, you know what I mean? It's all, are y'all paying attention? We worried about a lot of stuff we shouldn't be worried about. You know what's the most you Google, like what's the biggest worry in America today? White supremacy. For real? I haven't met a white man better than me yet. Like, I'm faster, stronger, smarter, like, you know, for real, like, especially in the comedy scene, a white man can't say shit. Like, he can't say nothing. I could go up and like, y'all fucking honkies, like, I hate y'all crackety ass crackers, like, and it's totally acceptable. I could go out the street, just start yelling at white people, like, fuck your cracker ass, cracker, like, a white man can't say shit. He could bust on other white people and shit. That's what he could do. Like he could bust on other white people. Don't say shit about them. I seen it like the whole crowd is like, damn, he bombing. Like, oh shit, white supremacy, right? Yeah. The only time it's white supremacy is if the aliens are white and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they might be white because you know why? Like, there's a lot of alien abductions that's really happening out there. Like, people getting snatched up, and they always come with the same story: butt stuff. Oh no, like butt stuff, like by the aliens. So they might be white, because I know a lot of white people into butt stuff. They like it. Like, I don't know, like they be into that shit. Like, all right, here you go. Whoop. Like, I used to think I was a freak sexually. I used to, but I'm not. I'm very conservative, like very, very conservative. Because to me, an adventure and having kinky sex is having. Having sex on the back of an ambulance. No. No, but to me, being adventurous in sex at my age is having sex with the lights on. Yeah, oh no, like she don't look the same in jeans as she does, you know what I mean, in your room. It be all kind of stuff going like, oh shit, like, all right, turn the lights off, like that. Like, it's more romantic, like, oh shit. I used to think I was a freak until I started messing with these young people. So y'all bad young people. Y'all bad, y'all into this S&M shit, like, people like getting choked now, like, for real? Like, you wanna get choked now? Like, you know, like, I'm a trained fighter, you don't wanna get choked by me and shit, like, so if nobody tapping out, like, I'm gonna keep going and shit, like, and I don't know, like, if the back of her eyes mean it's good, like, when she rolls her eyes, and she's like, I don't know if she coming or dying, you know what I mean? But I was like, oh shit, so I don't know if I take it too far, but if she died, like, I am on it. I know CPR, folks. Like, I will be on her shit, like, right now, like, stay alive, stay alive. You're supposed to sing that song when you do CPR and shit. Stay alive. Oh, get her back. Then she wake up and this is like the best orgasm she ever had. And she's like, oh my God, that was the best one. Like, I done saw my grandma. My grandma spoke to me during the orgasm. Like, oh shit. So now I gotta choke her out all the time and shit. Like, oh, I don't like this. Like, you know how much trouble I'll get having a dead white woman in my apartment? Like, oh, fuck that. I wake her back. Fuck it. You shouldn't be worried about that though. The aliens are coming, yo. The aliens are coming. Like, there's like, they've recently released like footage of the UFOs. Like, it was a triangle, like over the not even triangle, a pyramid on a motherfucking dollar bill, and then the government gonna say they don't know nothing about it, right? For real? Like, all right, there was a pyramid floating over the U.S. Capitol, and you know what we was worried about? Trump grabbing pussy. Oh, for real? Like, oh, I don't think we got our priorities straight. Like, you know, Trump grabbing pussy was in the headlines. Like, oh shit. Like, now is it talking about they did a congressional report about the aliens, and it's coming out in a couple days. That's why I'm so worried about it. Disclaimer again, I smoke good weed. I mean, you gotta get this straight. Like, this is really important to me. And it's like in our history and shit, like, I'm fucking History Channel, yo, fucking, oh, the fucking ancient aliens, like, to me it just match all up, to me, like, the whole ancient aliens philosophy going on with, like, his religion, because I study both. Smoke a lot of weed. That shit real interesting when you high. Okay. But, proof that the aliens are here is our cell phones, which you just put up right there. Proof is our cell phones. Like, does any of us know how to make a cell phone? For real? Like, nobody know how to. They everywhere. Nobody. Anybody know how to fix a cell phone? You know, it's the only fix for a cell phone. Turn it off and turn it on. If it's still broke, give it back. Like, and that's the deal we have. And you know what the deal is? Like, they're gonna give us this cell phone. They're gonna give us this technology. And in replacement, you know, we gotta give them butt stuff. My name Paco Loco, y'all. My name Paco Loco. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very special night. We got a very special, funny young lady. It's her first time hosting. So I want y'all to show some love to Melissa May.
Thank you, Paco. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. You know, speaking of beautiful women, I have confused you with a beautiful woman from behind more than once. Yeah. And then when I see you from the front, it's a beautiful man. Right? You are. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. It is my pleasure to be your host for the evening. If you want to sign up, the sign-up sheet is right up here. I'm sure you know that, but I just feel like saying it because I'm nervous. So thank you for those laughs. I'm going to think about them later. So I have done a couple mics, but I feel like my comedy is just like one facet of who I am as a person. So I wanted to kind of introduce you to who I am. So my name is Melissa May. Smith is my last name. So now that you know all three of my names, we're officially dating. Hi. I'm from a big Irish Catholic family. My mom is actually one of 16 kids. So I have like, I know, Jesus Christ is right. These are, so, no, you know, leave it to the Catholics to believe in Immaculate Conception, but not birth control, you know? So, yeah, I have a lot of cousins, big family, it's great. I love it. And I'm also Irish, as you can tell, maybe, maybe not. I am a redhead. If it looks brown, it's because it's dirty. Yeah, so like I got a lot of like, does the carpet match the pubes, you know, or whatever growing up. And I have to say that like women in general nowadays really like to like shave and, you know, like wax and whatnot. And we call that like bare floors. There's no carpet. It's like wood floors, right? Now I'm a bit more biblical. I have a burning bush. So, yeah, if you want to see God, come see me, okay? Now, I was born and raised in a suburb outside of Los Angeles. I'm from Southern California originally, and I grew up playing softball. And I actually got a scholarship to play softball in college as well. And I am a bisexual. I think those two things go together. I also played soccer up until high school, so I think that's why I didn't go full gay like my teammates did. Yeah, sorry, I keep looking because I'm nervous, like I said. But when I was in college, my sophomore year, I myself, the starting catcher, obviously by the legs and the booty, the starting catcher, the starting pitcher, and the starting center fielder all got kicked out and out of school. We as a team were tested for drugs and partying and whatnot, and all of us tested dirty, but you can't kick the whole team off. So they kicked the 3 starters off to lose every single game that season. But that being said, I got to go back to Los Angeles and study deaf studies, and I was a literature minor. Deaf is in like sign language, not like you're gonna die, even though we all are, so cheers up. So I know sign language. I'm actually an interpreter for the deaf, and I only have like one client at the moment. So how I make my living is doing comedy, jokes. Yeah, I actually am a yoga teacher and a intuitive healer. I lead workshops for women's like sexual liberation, and I also I am a birth and postpartum doula. So true to Hawaiian nature, I have several jobs, not just one. And I love it. I love what I do. Let me think about this. Now, I think what you might be thinking is I am a hippie witch, absolutely. I have crystals in my house, affirmations on my hair, and I do a lot of intention setting and like sacred rituals every day. And feel like I went from like Catholicism, where they like believe in a sky daddy but not pedophilic priests, to a group of white women, all named Amber, that believe in astrology but not clinical diagnoses. Yeah, you know, someone who's like, I just feel like super tired and sad. I'm just having like a really hard time getting out of bed. It must be Mercury retrograde. Could not be depression at all. Yeah. So for me, hi Rohan. I had a plan to move here prior to the pandemic, and when it all went down, I was living in San Francisco, and I decided to move here early. So I'm actually coming up on almost my 1 year anniversary, which is really exciting. And I kind of prior to the pandemic, I treated men kind of like carbohydrates. Like, I didn't keep any in my house. They all go straight for my ass. I enjoy them more on vacation. And yeah, most of them are not good for you, I guess, is a good way to put that. So for me, it's okay, you can laugh. So for me, I took a hiatus, of course, during the pandemic, and I'm easing my way back into the dating scene. So I have a quick question. Have you ever seen a penis and decided right then you just want to be friends? Because I have, absolutely. The pandemic has definitely done its job of like filtering out some of the small things, which I'm really happy about. Mostly my FaceTime chats. Yeah, like you can filter out a lot of things by just saying like, hey, can we just hop on a call real quick to see if we have chemistry? And if they're not like into that, then it's like, okay, fine. Like, I don't need to meet you, I guess. And then at some point I had like a naughty FaceTime, and I was like, let me see what you're working with. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, let's be pen pals, you know? Like, let's just hang out like online only. I know, these tiny princes. I mean, everybody loves a dick joke until it's about a small dick. You know what I mean? But yeah, so dating for me, with that in mind, I just like, I'm a big advocate of like fucking around and finding out sooner than later, right? Because the more emotional involvement you have, the more like difficult it is to like pull away from that small penis. And so, yeah, like, you know, you can fuck a guy on the first date or the 10th date, or once it happens, he's gonna lose interest, so it doesn't really matter when you do it. I mean, that's a gaze into the male mind, but maybe it's like the avoidant attachment. So for me, another way of like filtering out men in this dating thing is that I ask them soon and up front how well they know their triggers and their traumas and what they're doing to like heal that. Another way of putting that is, are you in therapy? Now, you know, thank you. Just said I smell good, like a creep. So, yeah, asking about therapy. Now, I'm in therapy. You know, here and up here, a lot of people say, like, this is my therapy. I get to, like, process how I'm feeling and, you know, sharing with people. And I think that's really, really awesome. But also, therapy is really good. They're, like, trained clinical professionals, you know? So, for me, I've been doing a lot of work with mine about, like, attachment theory. Is anyone, like, yeah? Okay, cool. So there's 3 attachment theory, styles. Avoidant, which is like running, anxious, which is like clinging, and secure, which is pretty comfortable with like intimacy and commitment and everything, right? So I had an aha moment the other day where I realized that my type is my father. Now, it's classic like Freudian psychology 101 that like you are eventually and inevitably trying to fuck a parent with like your person that you choose, right? That's probably why a lot of guys are the choking, like, shut up, mom. So for me, yeah, like I realized that like, yeah, I do date my father, mostly because I just thought I liked assholes, you know? But it turns out he's actually an avoidant person. So like he is not comfortable with intimacy, closeness, or any of that. And so that was like, ooh, breakthrough, right? My mom, on the other hand, very secure, very comfortable with like communicating and all of those things. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is, with the help of my therapist, I'm trying to fuck my mom. Or someone that has like a secure attachment. So. How are we doing on time? Like, what's it up? Cool, okay. Well, this is perfect timing then. Can you grab Anthony? Our first comedian after myself. Appreciate you all listening. Thank you so much, and thank you for tuning in. It has been a pleasure.
All right.
But with,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, my whole heart, and you know, super excited to introduce Tony.
Thank you.
Karate.
That's me. So, it's confession time, people. Confessions. I feel like if I was R. Kelly, let's think about R. Kelly, the musician, not R. Kelly, the urinator. All right, let's. Are we able to separate the man from his craft? No. It's so hard now, right? You know what's funny? It's like when I think of R. Kelly, I don't even think of R. Kelly anymore. I think of Dave Chappelle doing the song. You know what I'm talking about? That was so good. That was season 1. Season 1 was R. Kelly golden shower jokes. I love you, dude. I'm a fanboy now. We got to geek out earlier about comedy. That was cool. Thank you guys. That was fun. I'll do that. Watch it, nerds. I'll latch on to you and talk about my hobbies. That's oh my god, it's crazy what I'm willing to do. I've been I don't know why I've been thinking about this, but I got a weird text from Shay. That was my wife. She texted me.
Nice.
I don't know why I get sexist once I start. I feel like now that's what it is to. If you're married, you're like Republican. Is that what that is now? Like if I believe in a 2-parent household and monogamous sex, it's like, oh, this guy, I don't know if I can handle him. Sounds like he loves God. Right? Isn't that like that's controversial now, right? Like if like I'm so square to believe in Jesus back in the day. I don't know. I feel like he got it. He got it. Jesus got it. What was I even thinking about with all that? Oh yeah, I was thinking about the day I was born. Sorry. Cause that's the thing nowadays, right? Everything is like too important now. We celebrate everything, right? Stupid. Just to give you an idea, like, yeah, like, I think did everybody here, like, one of the things I think, like, how I knew I was, like, not just growing up in America, but, like, not super terribly poor in America, was, like, did everybody have, like, an elementary birthday party where your whole class had to show up?
Yeah.
Dude, we had it good, right? That's crazy. That was my quinceañera, I feel like, right? A birthday party with my class at the arcade. We ate pizza, not from a cafeteria. How do you fuck up pizza, cafeteria? What, like, why did cafeterias have to reinvent pizza? What was that spongy bread? You know what, my cafeteria, Manoa Elementary School, they, on the menu, yes, I went to an elementary school where we had a menu. Amazing, right? They called it oven-baked pizza. I'm like, what kind of other fucking pizza is there? It's like they were trying to give me an excuse for that spongy-ass bread. You know what I mean? It's just like, all pizza is oven-baked, you idiots. Even back then I had Italian taste, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's in my blood. I'm American Italian. like a pizza. Okay. Did you guys have classes where you had to be? Everybody had assignments in my elementary school. All right, like, look, we can't afford to have slaves in elementary. You know what I mean? We had the janitors, they did the bathrooms, but the classrooms were the children's territory, right? Everyone remember this? My favorite duty, well, actually, my favorite was Windows. Did anybody have window monitor? I love that term. Back then, they were trying to make you feel important about your title, like you gave a shit. Like if they didn't just call it window opener, it would hurt your feelings. You have to monitor the windows. Are they open? Are they closed? I get what I'm here to do, lady. Start of the day, open. End of the day, close.
Did you have the stick?
Okay, some classrooms, they had the loop,
Yeah.
right? Other classrooms had the dong, right? Because the windows had the loop, right? But it was the sex ed at a very young age. It's like, I get it. P and the V to open the windows. I get it. In and out, I get it. Just fucking 27 3x9, you know what I mean? That was my favorite job. I was so efficient. Anybody know what the swankiest responsibility you can get as an elementary school student?
Oh, line leader?
Look at this. This is a comedian right here. I love the position where everyone had to pay attention to me. Everybody, you have to. It's my job for you to pay attention to me. No. All right, me and the other fat kids, we wanted to be lunch monitors. Right? For a couple hours. Okay, one, it's because it actually resulted in less study time. You remember that? They're like, sorry, children, halt your learning experience. You need to help them cook. You guys remember this? You got to leave class an hour early just to help cook for everybody. No? Guess not. We did this in Manila. All right, but why? Why would a child subject himself to kitchen slave labor, right? Why? I already get the lunch for free. Tina's not going to eat her dessert. She doesn't even get chocolate milk, the fucking savage. What retarded kids were not getting chocolate milk? Why was there... Did you guys have a couple options in your school? Who got regular milk? Oh my God. Were you watching your weight? Everybody! You liars! You liars! Kids don't have those kind of things. It's just little sugar orgasms in your mouth when you're little. I shouldn't have used that sexual reference with kids. But that's all it is. You don't have real palates back then, you liar. Excuse me, this chocolate milk doesn't go with the fruit cocktail. It was sugar in sugar syrup chased with sugar milk, all right? That was my diet when I was a kid. Sugar carbohydrates, sugar, then recess, then sleep during class. Oh my God. I loved it, man. I was fucking good at being a sixth grader. I peaked back then. Joey Whitlock wanted to dance with me. I don't know what. It was all downhill from sixth grade. I thought I was going to be an astronaut, no joke. I was like, I need to join the Boy Scouts and get a letter from my senator. I'm going to Annapolis and then Mars. Nobody mentioned math. They'll tell you that, you know, you think you're just gonna be like, in the galaxy, bang, banging aliens. Yes, that is exactly why I wanted to be an astronaut. My favorite character in Star Trek was William T. Riker, baby. Do you know how many times he is in every biology textbook ever written at Starfleet Academy? All right? Because when it's the first dude to bang any alien, it's fucking, holy shit, Lieutenant Commander Riker! Again! She didn't even have legs. It's crazy. Just flew with wings. You know what I mean? 1,000 tentacles of vaginas. He fucked them all. You should have seen the baby. It was Hoppa and it was adorable. You guys, thank you so much. My name's Tony. Have a good one.
Thank you, Tony. Great job. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good? All right. We're going to keep this party going with my first friend in the comedy scene and potentially my only friend, but we'll see if you guys want to be friends with me later. Please give it up for Liz.
Woo!
Woo!
Thank you. That's actually my first friend that I've met on Zoom.
Yeah.
True story, we have the same taste in a comedian. We went to an online comedy show for this comedian, Sam Morrill, and she said something in this chat about being in Hawaii, and I was like, oh, comedian in Hawaii, I'm going to something tonight. So yeah, the Zoom matchmaking at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't going to go up tonight because I was just going to come. Was supposed to hang out with the guy tonight, but he hasn't texted me. So I guess I'm going to talk instead. It's another one of those like situationships. Does anyone have like a situationship? Has anyone ever been in a situationship? Yeah? Okay, but this is a true situationship where it's like, you know, it's kind of like you're not sure what's going on, and it's like you're hanging out, and it's like you talk regularly. Like, we've actually talked for 3 months. But we see each other like once or twice every 1 or 2 weeks, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. But a lot of people, millennials, are like really digging this situationship thing, and I think a lot of people are misusing that term. So my roommate, for example, she's been seeing this guy for 5 months, and she's like, I don't want to put a label on it, we're just hanging out. But they talk every day. They're exclusive, but he's not her boyfriend, right? If you show up to the same place every day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and do something that that person tells you, and then that person pays your bills, you can be like, I don't really like to put a label on things. He's still your boss. If you peel the label off a banana and you're like, I don't really put a label on things. It's just like, I just like consuming squishy yellow substances. It's still a banana. Like, anyways, you have your situationships. So, I like how Paco was talking about women getting recruited into the military. Actually, I mean, I think Paco knows this, but I was actually recruited into the military when I was like 10 years old. True story. Let me give you a little bit of back history. So every time I see the work of somebody that I really admire that's like made it big, the first thing I do is I go on Wikipedia and I look up like how old were they when they achieved success, right? Because I'm like, you know, like, is there any chance for me? And like everyone is like, they started at age 6, and I'm like, they held inoculations from like, you know, a young age, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm fucked. So I was looking for some personal inspiration, so I Googled late bloomers who fucked up. And you know what I found. It was just all porn. But can you imagine what porn would be like if nobody was fucked up? Right? It'd be like, people would use Pornhub as like one of those meditational apps for sleep, right? It'd be like, how can I, look, you are worthy, rub this dick. And girls would just be like, how can I hold space for you in my vagina? Right? But there is one light calling that I've had from a very young age, right? And that is, I am a child prodigy of being awkward. Yeah. Give it up for awkward people. Yeah. So when I was 9 years old, this is when I was recruited into the military, my dad decided to move us all to a small town of 1,200 people. And start a farm to prepare for the apocalypse. So the people in the town simply referred to us as the Amish family with 40 goats. You know it's really bad when you live in a small town full of meth lads and you're the odd one. Yeah, it's super fun. So on one hand, we all had to wear head coverings and dresses down to the floor, right? But on the other hand, at age 10, I had to shoot at human targets, kid boyfriends, to like prepare, like bam, 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 right? And semi-automatic rifles at age 10 to prepare to defend ourselves against the government, yeah. My dad was some people recruit their militia, but my dad was a real do-it-yourself man, you know? He was like, why recruit when you can just grow your own militia? So he had 7 kids, yeah, naturally. He's really ingenious, but yeah, so obviously like my childhood was a little bit different from other kids. When other kids were in summer camp, I was out in the barn with my brothers digging bomb shelters. And then we had to put the dirt in the wheelbarrow, bring it across the road, and distribute it in our raised garden beds and dig it in there so that the black helicopters flying overhead wouldn't see the accumulation of fresh dirt and figure out where we had buried our stolen stuff, right? And we weren't allowed yes, and we weren't allowed to go to school or to watch TV, so we had no idea that this was reality, right? So when I escaped and went to college for the first time, I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I was like, what do you mean you only have 2 days supply of food in your dorm room? And it's in ramen? Like, how do you expect to survive the apocalypse? And I would try to make friends with other girls, right? And they'd be like, oh, last night I was grinding up on this really hot guy. And I'd be like, what kind of wheat berries were you grinding? Were you making cake? Or bread? And they're like, no. So eventually I did. I studied pop culture and, took notes when everyone's hanging out. And I learned what pop culture was all about. And then I cut my hair, got my clothes, straightened out a little bit more, and made a bunch of friends actually, partied a ton, and became a little bit more popular. But I didn't really feel like myself anymore. And that's when I realized, like, why would you pretend to be someone else's weird when you can just be your own weird? Because in the end, it's all fucking weird, right? Like, why wouldn't you just be your original flavor? Because it's half the effort and twice as good, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you need some entertainment tonight, you can find me on Pornhub under Amish Mafia.
Give it up for Liz, everybody. Oh, well, you are my first friend, and it turns out if you know how to shoot a gun, maybe you're my only friend. Honestly. All right, so the next comic coming up is a guy. I got my first ride in an electric car with this one. So we're just going through the first. Who wants to be the first guy to fuck? Anyone? All right. So next up is Graham ELWOOD.
Let's do it. What's up? Pizza place. Baby, we're doing it, man. Right on. It's the most amazing show I've ever done at a pizza place next to a moped repair store. You know what I mean? Holy shit. Although, Paco, I told you fucking lights on both trees. That's in my goddamn writer, okay? I'm taping my fucking Netflix special right now. I really need this done correctly. You've walked into a place before and you're like, somebody OD'd in this room. Like, you know what I mean? You can just tell. You just got that vibe. Like, oh, this is a meth. Someone with a face tattoo fucking had their last breath here. And they gave their friend a half price on a pizza. Like, hey, sorry your buddy died. We made an extra sausage. You know what I'm saying? Like, this place is amazing. Oh my God. This is good. I'm glad. I was like, turn the heat up because I need this to be a little bit kind of like a hot yoga comedy. This is oh, we're videotaping this? Oh, good. Let's put this on the goddamn internet. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, the Netflix executives watching this? I'm sure that they are. I'm going to pitch a couple of series. This is going to be great. It's Hawaiian style between two ferns. This is the Hawaiian between two fake trees, brother. That's what this is. This is fantastic. This island is great. It's amazing, and I have such respect for people that live here. Be you local or you've been living here a long time, because you're the most hardest working people I've ever met in my entire life. You talk to somebody in the mainland, like, what do you do for a living? They're going to give you one job. Oh, I do this. I work for this company. I'm in banking. I'm in this or that. Not here. It's everyone's got 15 jobs. Like, yeah, man, I'm a construction worker, and then I got a Reiki healing, and then I got a yoga studio. Well, it's a half food truck, half yoga studio, and then it's connected to a zip line. Goes right down to my snorkel boat. I just do that on the weekends. And then, but yeah, I got a real estate license. But other than that, yeah, I'm just trying to get by. Trying to get by, man. Slinging pizzas at the comedy show. This is awesome, man. This is like, feels like more like a talent show at a rehab center. You know what I mean? It just kind of has that vibe a little bit. Like, hey, the next guy's got 90 days. Let's bring him up here. Give him his chip. Okay, I'm the only sober one here. That's cool. Yeah, being a sober comedian, I haven't drank in a long time. People are like, oh, you don't drink? What are you, pussy? You don't drink? Motherfucker, you go through life sober. Try that shit. Try going through life just fucking going through the pandemic, living alone, no drinking, just fucking, oh great, another Zoom show. Fuck yeah. These guys are like, are you sure you want to do this pizza gig? I go, I would do this 1,000 days in a row before another fucking Zoom show happens. Oh my God. And I love that the mayor, governor, whatever, like when things were shut down, I was told like, oh, no musicians, no singing at the choir, but comedians, you guys can all fucking die. Who gives a shit? You guys are idiots anyway. Like they're one of the least respected artists ever. There's no other profession where people disrespect you out of the gate the minute you say it. Oh, you're a comedian. Oh, are you funny? That's the first one. Oh, you do a joke right here. Does anyone do that? Oh, you're a doctor? Well, have any patients that die? Fucking murdering your patients? You're a lawyer, huh? You ever win a case? Fucking idiot. And then do your comedy right here. Do your jokes right here. Like, we're in the dentist's office, we're in a thing. Like, you don't seem funny. Yeah, because I ain't like this 24/7. You don't say that to a singer. Oh, you don't seem like a singer. Is that what singers do when they go to the bank? They're like, I want to cash this check. No, they're just like, yeah, that's my fucking job. But it's great living in the dumbest country in the world. You guys are so lucky. This is like another country living out here. Because in the mainland during the pandemic, I was there, baby. I saw it. People getting mad at you because you had a, what are you wearing a mask? Why the fuck do you care if I've got a, like the anti-maskers were the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. And then when those Trumpers they couldn't even do a revolution right, those fucking idiots. Like, read one history book, hillbilly. Like, when I was watching January 6th, I'm like, oh shit, this is it. I've read all these. This is what they do. There's gonna be a civil war. They're gonna seize power. It's gonna be fucking awful. No, man, we're just taking selfies and stealing a podium. Way to go. Way to go. That's bold action. That's bold action. I'm gonna put my feet on Pelosi's desk. Yeah, that'll change. That's how the founding fathers, I think, took this country from the English. They were just like, selfies. Come on, Thomas Jefferson, let's do it. Fucking jackwagons. I will sum up America and how dumb it is with Diet Lipton green tea. This sums up how dumb America is, right? I'm not a coffee drinker. I like green tea. That's why I love this island. There's all these Asians. You can get good green tea, right? There's that company, Itoan or whatever, and it's just green tea in a can. What are the ingredients? Oh, green tea. So here's what Lipton does. First they make the regular green tea. They put a bunch of sugar and bullshit in it, right? Because the sugar lobby spends a lot of money. Anyway, watch my YouTube show. It's a whole other thing. They put a bunch of sugar and bullshit in it because Americans are like, oh, this isn't sweet enough. I need diabetes or whatever, you know? So they put a bunch of sugar and bullshit in it, and some people go, well, there's too much sugar. It's too sweet. And so then they go, well, let's make diet green tea. So they take out the sugar bullshit, and then they put in some cancer fucking aspartame bullshit in there. And I'm like, you know what else is diet green tea? What else is it? Oh, fucking green tea, you goddamn idiots! That sums up America. Spend all this money and research on fucking this kind of poison and that kind of poison. Well, the sugar lobby, but we also get money from the aspartame lobby, and we need a certain amount of Americans to have cancer so that the medical industry can get their fucking take. Or we could just fucking make tea and put it in a goddamn can, you fucking idiots. New bit. A little more of a riff. God, I love this. This is fantastic. There's like hula ladies from the 1930s on a thing, and Pat Benatar. That's the oddest musical combination you could ever have. Right on. Pat Benatar. And the Jackson 5. Oh, yeah, Michael Jackson before he was a rapist. Yeah, those are all new bits, I guess. Where am I at time-wise? I got 3 minutes? Okay, I'm doing an hour. Fuck you, make me a pizza. No, this is awesome. Shit, I don't like looking at my notes. I get mad when I do it, but I'm doing it tonight. Shit, is there like a fucking samurai guy back there who's just like, you disrespectful. So when I moved here, if you've ever moved, I moved to Hawaii. I've been living in the same apartment for 9 years in Santa Monica, and I was like, I gotta get rid of a bunch of shit. You really find some, and I wasn't like, if you would have asked me before I moved, I would be like, no, I'm not a hoarder. I keep my place pretty clean, pretty orderly. Then you find some stupid shit, man. Cufflinks? Cufflinks. I had a whole stash of cufflinks. Never in a million years am I gonna wear, look, I always wear t-shirts and black, this is all I ever wear. And then flip-flops at the beach. Like cufflinks? Who's wearing and then I found a muffin tin. Yeah, man, I would always get dressed up with my cufflinks before I made my muffins. It was really fantastic. And a sushi set.
Yeah.
What did I think I was doing? Who gave this to me? And when they gave, I get it, so you get a dumb gift. And somebody gave it to me and I must have been like, oh, thank you. And then thought, someday, I'm gonna learn how to make sushi. This thing that these old Japanese guys studied for years, I'm gonna just do that in my apartment, and I'm gonna wear cufflinks while I do it. That's gonna be fantastic. That bit not there yet, not close to being there yet, but we'll get it.
Dapper sushi.
What? Dapper sushi.
Dapper sushi.
Thank you so much. That's my comedy coach. He comes with me to all my shows. He's like, I don't give a fuck, I'm taping up my knee and I'm coming out to the show. That's a goddamn coach. He's like, I blew out my knee doing comedy and I'm just gonna rehab in the knee. This is like AA ball to get the knee ready for the big, I get it, it's cool. And he brought a hammer. That's not weird at all, a guy with a fucked up knee and a hammer just That's awesome. Thank you, brother. Every open mic he's at with his fucking hammer, like, dude, I'm here for the justice. I'm here for the justice. All right, before I go, maybe some of you know this, some of you don't. I have this political YouTube show called Political Vigilante. It's very lefty, and I talk a lot of politics. It's really cool, and I get to do it everywhere. But when you have a show where you talk politics and conspiracies and Epstein and all this shit, and people like they want to support you, and you got a lot of people just, hey man, I love what you're doing, they'll support, they'll do Patreon or whatever. But then I get sent crazy shit in the mail from crazy people, just crazy stuff. I get somebody sent me Ziplocs of food, homemade food in a Ziploc. I'm gonna eat that for sure, totally. Like, yeah, right after I do the Nigerian lottery and just give them my bank account, that's gonna happen. And then it's funny, when I had a movie podcast, people would send me like film books, like the history of this, or I, do a show here and be like, oh, all the cool movies that were made in Oahu. Oh, cool. Now that I do this political shit, all the books, none of them are fun. I don't get like love story or this school. It's all just like Sesame Street and the CIA or whatever the fuck. Boom, love it. Thank you so much, everybody. That's my time. I appreciate it. Oh, the hammer, thank you. I got the golden hammer. Thanks, brother. Go get it. Thank you. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Don't like that. This is absolutely necessary. Oh, it is. Thank you, Rohan. Yeah, it was. I was curious. I was like, what are you doing? All right, the next comic coming up is Julia. Here we are.
Hey everybody! I get to go after a professional fucking badass comedian. Yes! Holy shit. I'm super stoked to be here. Paco is fucking awesome. It's so great. Everybody give it up for Paco who runs this show. This shit. Yes! I gotta be real, like I love living in Hawaii. It's like full of creativity. It's a great place to be. It really is. Like there's so many TV shows and movies that shoot here. I mean, maybe you recognize me from some of them. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here is my monologue from Hawaii 5-0. Would you like the chicken or the fish? And scene. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I auditioned for NCIS, and my mom is obsessed with that show. I didn't get the part, but she still tells her friends, you know, Julia almost played a dead body on NCIS. Mark Harmon was supposed to touch her toe. And she sent me to college for acting. I was grateful for that, and it's coming along, you know. My last gig, I got paid in buffalo wings and a drink ticket. So my Oscar's right around the corner, right? I was born and raised here, and growing up white in Hawaii, it wasn't until I went to school in New York City that I saw so many other white people. Like, I was on the subway and I saw these two white dudes with like polo shirts and loafers, and they were acting so white. Like, they were like, oh, did you see the latest TED Talk on the benefits of grocery co-ops? Yes, I did. Outstanding. And did you read in the New York Times that flaxseed milk is the new must-have for the digestive system? And I was thinking, like, how would you learn to talk like that? Hooked on douche bonnets? Epic. It is interesting here, like, if you have a bit of depression, here it's like, oh, if you're sad, just look up at the sky. And that's why I loved being a New Yorker, because there, no one tries to cheer you up.
Oh, you were.
Besides, if I did look up, a pigeon would just shit on my forehead. I don't handle embarrassment well, or like at all. In high school, my mom was driving me there, and we were at a red light, and it was Christmas time, so I was belting out a cappella, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, full blast, living my best life. Like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose like a light bulb. And I look out of my window, and the hottest guy in the whole school is standing there just looking at me. And I was so embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. So I look at him and I go, back me up on the chorus, motherfucker. And then he looked embarrassed. I was like, yeah. So now, whenever I mess up, I just double down and add motherfucker. This one time, I was playing bingo, and this gal was being intense. She was like, Julia, you actually don't have bingo? And I was like, no, you don't have bingo, motherfucker! And that's the last time they let me volunteer at the retirement home. Epic. But I do love old folks. Like, my grandma was a total badass. She lived till she was 93, even though she drank like a fish, smoked like a chimney. So when she hit 90, I was like, Grandma, what's your secret for living so long? And she was like, well, sweetheart, being a bitch. And I was like, wow. So what you're saying is, Betty White must be a total twat. I still can't get that joke to work. You were kind of like, you were like, I've lived a good life, it's okay. What else? Oh yeah, I have been told that I get way too happy about the small stuff. Like this one time, my friend Janet, she handed me a popsicle, and I was like, wow, thanks, a popsicle. And she was like, Julia, you get way too excited about stuff. A guy could flash you, and you'd be like, wow, thanks, a penis. Is it strawberry? How'd you get it on a stick? I've like added physicality to that like joke. Like I don't know if I work. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, I really miss New York. Like even the weird moments. Like this one time I was on the subway late at night heading home, and this guy approaches me, starts hitting on me aggressively, and I was too tired to let him know that I wasn't interested. But I do know sign language, so I randomly signed, please leave me alone. And he backs away, he's like, whoa, this bitch is deaf. I felt so guilty for pretending to be deaf. So guilty, but it was really effective, and I would have pulled it off if I hadn't gone, who you calling bitch? Motherfucker. I don't know, that was a new tag. A callback, that was my attempt at a callback. I gotta be real, like, I'm getting older, my body's changing, and it's epic. It's epic. Like, last week I was doing this all-ladies comedy show, and this gal was performing this bit about how long and saggy your boobs were. And then she looks at me and she goes, right, Julia, you know what I'm talking about. And I didn't know what to say. But I wanted to be supportive, so I was laughing, but I just instinctually held up my boobs like, oh my gosh, and this is why I don't like dating men that work out. Like, I dated a guy that had a six-pack, and I was like, oh, I can't handle this contrast. I don't have a six-pack. I have an ice pack, and it's melted. Nothing wrong with that. tell me. One time this guy was like, how'd you get that mark? And I was like, well, I got jumped one night by a purse snatcher and I fought back, but then I got stabbed. Which is much better than the real story. Oh, this mark? I just ate an entire birthday cake and then didn't move. Oh well, I had higher hopes for that joke. Oh, it's okay. That's all good. Okay. I'm envious of joggers because they're so motivated. You know, they're getting their heart rate up and they're building muscle. And meanwhile, I'm watching them through my window eating my morning cake. Well, like my mid-morning cake. I polished off a malasada at dawn. But actually, I've been on a diet the past few weeks. But this time is for me. I used to go on diets to look more attractive for men. Till I realized my vagina works no matter what weight I'm at. And men love working vaginas. Mine still works great when I'm curvier. You might have to lift a few things to get there, but who doesn't love a treasure hunt? Right? The guy can pretend to be a pirate. And be like, "Arr, I'm going to dive for the prize jewel." And the parrot on his shoulder's like, "Matt, you might not make it out alive." Aye, but it'll be an orgasm for the ages. Yeah, that's right. I'll give you an orgasm because, ladies and gentlemen, my pussy works. Alright, that's my time. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Julia. Alright. Give it up for Julia one more time, everybody. Yes. Paco likes to put things right in the middle, so it's kind of difficult to maneuver around. But keeping up with the night, the next gal coming up is Jasmine. Come on up. Give it up. Thank you, Melissa. Give it up for Melissa for hosting. Yeah. Shoot, where did Tony Karate go? Like I had something to say about his bit about growing up in Hawaii. It's okay. You say it anyway? Okay. Dude, I also went to elementary school here too, and yeah, I agree. We also had window monitors, cafeteria monitors. Did you guys have like office monitors at your school? Like those are just like the kids that ran around like delivering mail to other classrooms. And I didn't like realize when I took like the position for that day, like I had such bad social anxiety. Like my first assignment, I stood outside the classroom for 20 minutes.
Damn it,
Bring down the house.
God damn it, Mike.
Jesus.
Oh God, hey, do you want to pick this up? Oh God, give it up for Eden Ship and for putting this shirt down. Oh no, it's thing is. I feel like I shouldn't be up here. I'm like ruining the spotlight on I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, I stood outside the classroom for 20 minutes because I was too scared to deliver the mail. What I'm trying to say is that no classroom got their mail that day. I was like, fuck it. I just like threw it in like a bush somewhere and then just went back. Oh man, yeah, Trey mentioned too, like the line leader, dude, that position had so much power, right? Dude, yeah, and dude, and the teachers just let you go. Like you just depended on the line leader to lead you to the cafeteria. Like, I'm surprised no one tried to walk